Hello and welcome to the Webcast for Tuesday, July 7th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. The marine layer is looking fairly similar to yesterday, a little deeper over the central coast than the south coast. And like yesterday, the marine clouds will burn off quickly today with abundant sunshine expected this afternoon. As forecasted, we did have a little bit of lightning across the eastern Sierra yesterday thanks to a little bit of lingering tropical moisture from the remnants of Tropical Storm Douglas. However, we now have a steady southwest wind pattern aloft, and that southwest flow will be acting to dry the air mass out and prevent any additional storm activity for the next several days. We remain and will continue to remain under the influence of high pressure fluctuating between the desert southwest and southern California over the next few days. It is a flat but fairly strong ridge, and it's going to bring us continued warming into midweek. Here's a look at today's forecast highs. We're continuing to trend upwards with some upper 90 to even near 100 degree readings showing up in the warmer Southern California valleys. And we will turn the dial up another notch by Wednesday and Thursday. Here's a look at Thursday's forecast highs. In some cases, these will be the hottest temperatures of the season so far, with upper 90s to low 100s common in the valleys. And the deserts will really be cooking with 105 to 110 even in the high desert, and the hottest locations of the low desert approaching 120 degrees. With the southwest flow aloft continuing, we're also continuing to scour out that remnant moisture from over the weekend. Humidities today will still not be overly low, mainly in the 15 to 30% range and drier in the deserts. But by Wednesday and Thursday, we'll see a notably drier air mass develop, with minimum humidities dropping into the upper single digits and teens away from the coast. Overnight recoveries will also start to suffer in many areas as thermal belts become more active. Winds will be on the light side overall the next several days, mainly local and terrain driven, but there will be some pretty strong afternoon sea breeze pushes, especially Wednesday and Thursday, leading to some breeziness through the wind-prone gaps and passes. We expect dry weather to prevail across the region through Saturday, but by later this weekend and into early next week, high pressure will become centered near or north of the Four Corners, changing our wind direction aloft from southwesterly to southeasterly. This is a favorable direction for bringing monsoon moisture into the region, and we expect to see that occur by later this weekend. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will likely begin to affect the region on Sunday, with activity likely continuing into early next week. It remains possible that the entire region could be in play for storm activity. Some rainfall is likely in association with this monsoon surge. However, it remains to be seen whether or not the extent and duration of moisture will be enough to mitigate the impacts of lightning on dry fuels. Current indications do suggest this event may be more of the problematic variety, with faster moving storms and less rainfall, which would be more favorable for fire activity, but there is still a lot of uncertainty and many details to be worked out. With the center of high pressure shifting away, temperatures will remain near to above normal but not excessively hot into early next week. Most areas will see at least a few degrees of cooling thanks to increased cloud cover, a little more marine influence, and the weaker high pressure. Humidity will likely increase some due to the monsoon surge, and that will lead to a muggier feel to the air and warmer temperatures during the overnight hours. Before we get to the potential weekend excitement, we'll see steady and in some cases rapid drying trends this week, driving our dead fuel moistures near to below normal in most areas. However, we are still recovering from the effects of last week's much cooler weather, so in most cases our fire danger indices are still below where they should be this time of year, but they will trend pretty quickly towards seasonable or above seasonable levels in the next few days. With the rising indices amidst the hotter and drier weather, fire potential will trend upwards this week. We'll keep a moderate probability for a new large fire going today as our indices continue to gradually bounce back. But we'll be well into the elevated category by tomorrow and likely stay that way for the remainder of this week. Expect steady, moderate initial attack activity to continue. While lighter fuel types will be of greatest concern, we are definitely getting to the time of year where heavier fuels can become involved in fire carrying in a hot, dry pattern like this, increasing the potential for fires to extend across burn periods. Finally, while there is still a lot of uncertainty, the lightning event this weekend could potentially produce numerous fire starts, with growth potential then more contingent on the ensuing weather conditions, which remain highly uncertain. High-risk issuances remain possible in the next couple of days depending on how the pattern evolves, and the weekend weather should definitely be watched closely. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Wednesday, July 8th.